Hello everyone, my name is Max Mangones. I'm the Director of Tennis at the Grove Isle Hotel and Spa in Coconut Grove for Cliff Drysdale Tennis. Today I'm very excited to talk about the forehand. I'm going to talk in particular about the left arm. Okay, a lot of tennis players, I teach a lot of lessons and I see a lot of people just dropping their left arm. Okay, so we're going to talk about the use of the left arm. Why do we have the left arm up? You see a lot of tennis pros, you see pictures of them, you see them setting up and the left arm is fully extended out to the side. One thing that gives you balance, but it also helps you with the shoulder turn. Okay, we'll talk about a couple different steps. In your ready position, your left arm usually cradles the racket at the throat. You want to try to think of this in terms of taking the racket back. I see this a lot. Players just swing the racket back and then the left arm sort of drops and then they get in their position to hit. What I'd like for you guys to think of is getting the left arm to actually start your shoulder turn and getting the racket back. Initially that gets your body to rotate, gets your shoulder turn, and then starts to get your left arm up in front of you, which will help you with the balance. The next thing I like to tell my players, when you're about to hit the forehand, you see the left arm come out to the side. Don't get confused and try to get your left arm in front of you, directly in front of you. Try to get the left arm out a little more to the side. A tip I use with some of my lessons is you get the player to try to grab onto the ball as it comes to you. You try to do that a few times. The ball comes, you try to grab it. That way it forces you to exercise getting the left arm out to the side. Many players who just tend to drop their left arm, they find us a bit uncomfortable getting the left arm out to the side. So it takes a little practice. You get the left arm out to the side. The next thing is, as you're swinging, okay, a lot of times the left arm starts like this. I'm getting excited, my student has the left arm up, and then as they swing, the left arm drops or the left arm goes back to the side or behind you. What you want to think of, you want to try to get your left arm to move out of the way as you swing. And what I tell my students is to try to grab onto the racket at the end of the swing. So if you're looking at me, you're going to see how I'm grabbing my racket at the throat. It forces me to rotate my shoulders, and it actually forces me to grab my racket and make sure that I'm extending through my swing. So I'm actually really following through my shot. I'm going to have Mark Chellis, who's the director of tennis at the Ritz-Carlton in Key Biscayne, demonstrate a few forehands. If I can get Mark to come over to the camera. Mark actually has done a couple demos with me, particularly my last one was the backhand. He's got a great backhand, but I think he has an even better forehand. So Mark will demonstrate the left arm that we talked about, and we'll get to see actually Mark do it in practice here, not just in theory. All right, let's go, Marky. Freeze. Okay, now, we were just talking about the left arm. As you can see, Mark starts off the swing. He's got his left arm out to the side. It gives him a good unit turn, and then it starts to help him actually with his balance, and it helps him sort of have a reference point as to where he wants to swing and make contact with the ball. This is very helpful because sometimes players tend to overrun the ball, and then you start to overrun the ball, the left arm drops, and then you get it inside into your forehand, and then you start to pop the ball up. So because he's got his left arm out, now he knows exactly the distance that he wants to try to measure his forehand and then just unload. Now I'm gonna let Mark hit a couple. I'm gonna freeze it as soon as he gets his follow through and he grabs onto that racket. Freeze. As you can see, his racket is just resting in his left arm. If I can have Mark stay in this position and sort of turn to the camera, this is Mark's ending. So the racket is following through across his body and then just resting into the left arm. So now he has perfect balance on the swing, and he's rotated all the way around in a 180 and actually followed through his swing. Mark, thank you very much.
Thank you, Max.
Thank you guys for listening to me, and hopefully we'll see you on the course.